Oh, come on. Stop messing about. Thank you. Will anybody pop up today? Anybody in chat? Anybody want to come and have a little old chat with Scooby-Doo? Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, this. People seem to think I've been attacking them. That was mild. Hey, Christina. Glad to see you. Good stuff, girl. You're nearly always first, girl. All right, Payment. Okay. Here, Christina, can you hear me okay? Sound okay? Good job, girl. Good job. We're going to be having a wee bit of a chat about recent events, I suppose. I feel I have to address a few things now that it's all really starting to come out and show its face. As such, we're going to be discussing what's been going on the past week, you know, from Saturday to Friday. And we're going to discuss what possible things could come off from the All-Stars meeting the Amigos. That would be interesting. I'm looking forward to that one. I do have an invite. Well, not so much an invite. I gate crashed it. Gate crashed it indeed. But nonetheless, I would, I said if I wanted to come on, you can come on. No worries. I said last night I wouldn't be going on, and I explained why I wouldn't be going on. So I'm just waiting for a few numbers to pick up here, because people always straggle in within the first few minutes, and I don't think anybody's really going to want to miss this one. Christina, the way it is today, girl, anybody gives any crap in the chat, just kick them out, hidden user, and I'll unblock them the next time. What are you talking about, Wanda? You might need popcorn for this one. So the last week of events, do you know what? I can't even remember what day of the week it was that I had enough of the amigos. I'd been an old saying. I'd been holding my water for quite some time, and. just be going through a few things. So anyway, as you know, I kind of like had enough of these people, and everybody's like, "What? Scooby's lost his mind." Um, don't know what's wrong with Scooby. He seems to be going off a different plot. And, oh my goodness, he's coming out and attacking us. Why would he do such a thing? Well, you really start to see a person in their true colors. And Scooby's a sellout. And, you know, he sold out so he could get a live stream because he wants to be famous. He even said it, $1 million table. So these are some of the daft things people come off with this week. Hey, Winter. Yeah, you can have that. Anybody being an asshole, Winter, just kick them out. Now, when I say an asshole, they don't have to be freaking, like, you know, I don't mean disagreeing with me. I mean, just like, you know, effing and blending and all the rest of it. Hey, Budgie, because I don't want the chat to be sitting having an argument with each other when they're, and you know, I'm not pointing a finger at you here when I say this, so don't take it personal. But a lot of people I've noticed when they come in here, they don't particularly, well, they're not exactly fond of you, so they want to have a go at you. And the best advice I would say to you is just ignore the crap. Don't bite. Don't bite. Just relax, chill out. If somebody starts effing and blind and starts calling people ridiculous names and all, um, kick them out of the chat, make them a hidden user, and I'll unblock them later on. Thank you very much. So, hey, Kickstand. Um, just going to run over a few details here, right? And over the last couple of months here, you know, I'd never been a channel creator before. I never had a channel, anything like that there. And you all know the history because I've said it often enough, and it's becoming a bit redundant now talking about this part. But you know, I made a video, and that was it. And then you know, we approached other people, and these people would not play ball. The all stars wouldn't talk about it, and I started making videos about them. Now, the videos I made about them were not memes. They weren't taking a piss out of them. It was nothing like that. They were actually quite serious videos, and they showed exactly the type of freaking people the All Stars were. These videos were received quite well, uh, along with my first video. And it was after a period of time, probably about 3 weeks, I think, 3 or 4 weeks in, or maybe not even that long, maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks in or something. You know, I started to see people were getting a bit dogged from constantly going over and over the same thing in streams and videos and all the rest of it. And I'm a bit of a light-hearted type of guy. You know, I like a bit of banter. In fact, I love banter. Banter's the best thing about life, having a laugh and a joke. You know, but it's no when to have it, I suppose. Uh, if you pick a raw moment that goes down like a fart in a shell suit, you know, space suit even. So you know, I started this whole wanker of the week thing. Had a laugh and a joke. Didn't think much of it. Didn't think it would be controversial, other than basically targeting the channels that were at the top of the food chain, as I would call it. And that's exactly what they did. They more or less targeted those channels. And whenever you did the votes, one of these people were winning it one way or another. Um, so it was all a bit of fun and games, you know. And not too long after that, there, you know, I noticed a wee bit of a change in things because I'd put out a video about uh, Little Miss Convoy, who is allegedly mentally ill, but I don't think so. Yes, sure, she might show traits of A, B, and C, but I just think it's some people are just twisted, and that's all there is to it. You know, but nonetheless, I made a video, and I made that video because the woman was making ridiculous, outlandish, crazy, damaging accusations against me. She keeps on chopping and changing her mind exactly what I am and what role I play in her ridiculous little world. But I'm all right with that. I just wanted to show that actually, hold on a minute, folks. If anybody has been listening to this lady and wants to find out excuse me, who Scooby Doo is, if they come to my channel and see if there's any videos, well, then they're going to find one that talks about this particular channel, Convoy. And the way I do my videos, I try to make them so they're basically, you know, as honest as possible and as, tightly sealed as possible too, so that, people are going to have a hard time debunking it. Now, after that, really it comes down to that individual, whether or not what they want to believe, and that's up to them because at the end of the day, we're all entitled to do what we want to do. Now, I noticed a wee bit of change with that first video, and that first video had nothing to do with Winterman. It was all me, and as went on, I noticed a few wee differences with people. I wasn't well myself, and I'm quite sure there's a couple of people understand things whenever you start having problems with your liver. The side effects or of that are is quite demanding. It's quite hard. They're harsh side effects. Or symptoms, should I say? Sleeping 20 hours a day, as I've said before. Flipping. It was just crazy. Couldn't date. Being nauseous all the time. Uh, bloated. My memory is shocking. My memory is still shocking. I'm still having problems, but um, I've been told that it's not the big C, which was my worry at the time, as anybody I think would be. And you know what happens whenever you get symptoms and stuff, and they tell you that they're going to send you for tests because your liver functions come back a bit iffy and crap like that. There, I'm not a drinker or anything like that. There, no, no, sir, not a drinker. Very rarely would take any like outside prescription drugs, except I smoked a bit of weed once in a while for pain relief, basically. Had an accident a lot of years back, and it's left me in a situation where I'm having to deal with uh, pain, basically. So, you know, to find out that your liver's a wee bit, whoa, it was a bit of a surprise. And the only thing I could relate it to was, it must be the prescription that's doing this to me. And so you've got a choice, the devil and the big deep blue sea here. But anyway, I'm waiting for the test. The facts of this has been hammering me for a long time. I was given different medication, and it's possible that that medication was also adding to the facts and, making things all the more difficult than what it should be and not really helping the situation. So, I made the people around me aware of this. FK and Freddie knew this and whatnot, and this whole thing that he tried talking to me about the whole gunk thing and about the live stream, and I just hung up on him. That was nonsense. Lost the connection. is exactly what happened, and I explained them anyway what had happened. I lost connection towards the end of the phone call after we'd already talked about what the problem was. So he was one of these people that I'd confided in, trusted with, that was having a bit of a problem with my health, etc., like that there, and it was affecting my performance. And again, if you'd have went through the videos, you'd have seen that there was a sharp drop off in my output on what I was doing because I couldn't. Sorry, not that I couldn't. I struggled to be able to concentrate or find the time to actually do a bit of research on things that you know I wanted to do research on. Now, I never came into my channel thinking to myself, the first video was obviously about Net for Truth USA, Dave Tottashini, and anybody can go and look that up. But, I never intended that video to set the tone for my channel. I never intended to have a channel. I didn't know what would come of it after I made the video. Because of the encouragement that I got from the comment section doing that video, uh, hold on, sorry, I'm just reading the chat here. Yeah, just what he call it. It's not about controlling the narrative, Sovereign. It's just what he call it. I've told Winter Moon, Kickstand, and all the rest of them know that if anybody is coming in to cause nonsense, to be disruptive, to just kick them out. End the story. They're not welcome. I'm not saying that you're not welcome or anything like this. I'm speaking in general, Sovereign. You know, and if they look like that's what they're doing, that's because I've asked them to do that, and that comes back to me. And the reason why I've asked to do that is because um, when I have been giving people the opportunity to, try and get to know better through people through the chat, and talk to each other. Maybe people have had a few issues with each other. Try and resolve them. What it's just went absolutely, tits up, and I'd prefer just, I've tried to be basically as open as I can with the chat without causing any problems to what I'm actually trying to talk about. Because when the chat is disrupted, it ends up disrupting me, and then it ends up being you're distorting my rhythm basically. And here I must admit, T-Dor's name is probably the most apt name I've come across for a YouTube channel doing this type of crap. They're distorting our rhythm, and T-Dor is absolutely right, and it's probably the most fantastic name anybody could possibly come up with. What do you mean as open as I can be? I don't know how much open I could possibly be, Sovereign. I mean, if you've got something you'd like to say, you're more than welcome here, Sovereign. I'm not suggesting you're not. I'm just trying to explain. You know, the tone isn't set by the moderators. The tone has been set by me. I'm not going to sit here and freaking run through and explain anything. You run a channel yourself, I believe. You know all about disruption. I've been talking about freaking tactics people use over the last week or so. If you can't see it what it for is, fair enough, but I'm not going to be talking about it anymore. I'm not interested because it is disrupting me. So, anyway, see, I lost my place, that's all. I can't even fucking remember. This is part of the side effects of this crap. Your memory is absolutely shocking. And unless you get it out of you there and then, it's very difficult to freaking get it back. It's like say it then or don't say it at all or never say it because you forget it. And you'll remember it about 20 minutes from that. So anyway, yeah, I'd explain to people what was what uh, about my health wise, and they knew why I wasn't participating as much as I had been participating. It wasn't because I didn't want to. It wasn't because I didn't agree with what they were doing or anything like that. There, it was because I literally couldn't. You know, it was shocking. Now I've went from the other extreme. Now I'm experiencing, instead of sleeping 20 hours a day, I'm sleeping 2 hours a day. You know, I'm the complete opposite now. I've went from freaking sleeping to insomnia. It's quite possible, Rob, but who knows? End of the day, um, so whenever I did put a video out, it was quite, I suppose it was quite a rarity, and it probably looked a wee bit to the left if it wasn't on topic with everybody else's. Now, I was never ever in and I'm not suggesting anybody else was, by the way, when I say this, but I was never involved in a scenario where we all worked on putting out a certain topic, type of video out. You know, I'd release a video on this topic, and then say OG released a video, the next day on the same topic, and then Friday, etc. Nothing was ever like that. There was ever arranged or anything like that. There, people just basically were making videos and talking about what they saw. Now, you know, the whole net for truth thing and you know gunk thing. By end of July, a lot of people were pretty burnt out with it. It's not that they didn't care, but there's only so much talking you can do. There's only so much exposing, and we'd done that interview with Net for Truth. Um, we'd done all the research that was available online. I actually did a lot more than that there. I started looking into his websites and his previous internet history, where he was a web pastor and things like that there, and people had called him out before. I believe this was back in 2006, 2009 and whatnot. Started looking into all this stuff and about him, kind of more when I was awake, uh, you know, kind of able to do so. That was kind of what I was looking at. But there was other stuff as well. As I said, it was being attacked. Absolute nonsense was being said about me. I know all I wanted to do was to defend myself, make a video, and show people that if they showed up to find out who Scooby Doo was, because this person had been talking about me in their streams and crap, they would get an idea of what actually was going on. So that's it. I'm sorry if I've backtracked there, but as I said, my memory is fucking really bad. So I end up repeating myself. I don't mean to be doing that, but that's how it is. So um, things continued on. I did a few wanker of the weeks. They kind of dried up as well because I was struggling to keep it up. In fact, even after the first wanker of the week, even when I was doing was wanting to announce who the winner was, I had to ask Treats if he would do the first one. If he would do it for me because I couldn't. I was just wrecked in the story, and it started to become like that every time. So I found it quite difficult. And when the gunk thing broke, when I come across him doing his whole stream about and saw him talking about the kid, don't be reporting the porno. I put that out, and there it was. Um, but the next day, I also put out the video showing that. Sorry, I got struck as well, and I was able to live stream still after that strike. I've shown how that is and why that is. I've proved that. I showed that yesterday in my stream. Now, if people go to look for and wondering where all my videos are, I've deleted them all. The only videos that are there are the ones that were actually important and worth talking about at the beginning of it. The whole reason why I actually did a video in the first place. Um, Sovereign, I'm not breaking bread with anybody, and I'm certainly not sharing stories that belong to anybody else. But as you know, it spun into a wee bit of a drama because I made a video including Winter Moon, yada yada yada. You know, apparently it is wrong to be able to show that somebody else experiences what I'm experiencing. It doesn't matter what the character of that person is. It just happened to back up what I was saying, and it showed that I was not the only one, and that other people were experiencing this, and that's all it did. And if you weren't interested, you didn't have to look at it because I left the link, etc., to that channel, and that's fine with that. People got quite offended by that there, and what really annoyed me was whenever the first 20 minutes of the stream that I was asked to attend, people were talking. OG and Freddie were the ones that dragged me to the stream. They're the one that started the stream, and they said they didn't come out and attack me. Well, I personally felt that that stream was a whole fucking an attack vid, basically, while I wasn't on it. When I came on it, I certainly changed the tone of it. I took the matter by the scruff and dealt with it. And the tone of the freaking chat swayed in my favor because they saw exactly what was going on. And I took note of a few of those people, not a few, of those people that were saying for what it was. I never spoke to them after that there or anything like that there. I never involved myself. I just took note who it was. And that's why some of those people have found themselves in a wee bit of the same water as I've been in. And that's why I've had absolutely no problem putting my head in the chopping block for them because they did it for me. Uh, and that's it. Now, last week I came out after this whole thing. After this whole thing, part of this stream was OG crying like a little fucking girl that he is, spineless, crying about me going round involving myself with other channels that might make him look bad. And he's not having any of that. Now you can go watch the stream. It's on Shillhammer's channel, and it's addressing problems or something it's called anyway. And the first 30 minutes just shows you exactly who these two idiots are in FK and Freddy and OG1 Kenobi. I've offered them to come on here plenty of times over the last week. They don't want to come on, refuse to come on, but will make little videos, turn their comment sections off, and just point blankly lie about me. I've debunked their little videos, etc., etc. But yeah, OG sitting crying about me, and the stream is set up by OG and Freddie, who are pissing and moaning because of who I have involved myself in YouTube. I'm a free fucking man. I don't answer to anybody. I'll still answer to my mother. Even to this day, I'll still answer to her. If she tells me I'm not to do something, I'll pay attention. But as for anybody else on YouTube, they can shove it up their ass because you're nothing special. There's 1,000 more out there just like you. And I'm just not going to be told. End of story. Especially when you do the exact same thing on the very stream that you're telling me I can't do this, and you're actually doing it on the same stream. It's like, man, it's so hypocritical. It wasn't funny. But again, as I said, a few people saw this for what it was, called it out, put their, put it out there that I didn't deserve it, and that's how I carried on. And one of those people is getting attacked now. And our opinion, sort of what it was, they're getting attacked now. And I would say it's quite possible, it's funny how the timeline events happen because I've come out and supported. There was a channel called Troll Doxer a couple of weeks back who was trying to intimidate said channel, and I did a video about them, and I laughed at them and mocked them. They were putting out a false dox. Nobody wanted to talk about it then, but the following week, all the heroes of the amigos put out videos about Troll Doxer and his dox. Well, the dox was false. And the thing was that myself and the person that I, was kind of trying to say, "Hey, stop picking on her. Let's pick on the men if you're going to tackle anybody." Um, she knew what the right dox was, and I knew what the right dox was. And at the end of the day, the wrong dox was being put out because the wrong dox was being put out for a reason, because they were LARPing together. All right. That's what I believe to this day. They all know each other and they're all LARPing together. And that's why the true docs was not put out, because it is not difficult. In fact, this idiot of a channel that was uh, allegedly being doxed herself. She doxed herself because she was that much in a hurry to put out a video about a police chase outside the front of her house. And she docked herself anyway. But that's neither here nor there. The three amigos came out and they saw off the big bad troll doxer without actually mentioning the fact that he was going after any particular channel. And even the channel that he was claiming to be doxing, I stood up for, even though I don't like a girl, woman, sorry, even though I don't like the woman, she's not what I want to be around, but I still stood up for her because it's not right that freaking these men hiding behind lies, you know, and crimes, saying they didn't commit them and all the rest of it, then go out and attack women because, you know, they can. It's not right. So all of a sudden, troll doxers a big thing and they have sold them off. They're heroes, but they don't mention anything in Pacific. And I just find that a bit coincidental. I just think, well, the actual video is not a real dox, it's a fake dox. And they're coming out and making a big deal about it. All three of them. Um, Maybe they thought it was real because they didn't really look into anything because they're too busy researching all the time. Who knows? But it came to the point then where I kind of felt, this is going a bit, this shit's starting to stink now, you know? Freddie goes on to stream with this particular channel who had been using OG's videos monetized. And we know what Freddie's like. He likes to go in with guns drawn. He wants to kick your back doors in. Basically, he's that type of guy. He's like a drive-by white knight. That's what I call him, a drive-by white knight. And he wasn't that way at all. He was very nice. He was respectful and all the rest of it. And that seemed to me just a wee bit, really, Freddie. Are you trying to paint yourself in a better light here, or what's going on? Because it didn't add up. So that's all right. in the morning, then a few days later, or a week later, I think it was, there was a live stream on Twitch. Twitch done a live stream. I joined the live stream. I was there for about 20 minutes and left it. I just wanted to show my face. I think it was offered a link and I declined it because I'd already come out and said that I was disassociating myself from these channels. I'd already deleted all these people. Well, I deleted Freddie from my discords and all that there. I'd unfriended him. I didn't want to have any more to do with him. He added me as a friend again. I tried to, and no, I don't want to know. But then, whenever he was putting out a video about this Pizzagate guy that was trolling OG or something like that, there, he decided to add my name into it, and I'm like, I've never mentioned this guy in my life. I haven't been around you. I've disassociated myself with you. So what the fuck are you doing mentioning me? So this kind of I'm looking at and I'm thinking, what's going on here? You know. Um. So on Saturday, I jump in the stream. I'm sitting there watching it. I say hello to people. People say hello back. Uh, and then I say, after about 10 minutes, I think I say, I got to head here anyway. Blah blah blah, and away to go. And I never thought any more of it. I never watched any more of the stream. And I think it was later on that night that I did my video basically about the taboo donuts. I did that. I think that's what it was about that night. Um, I think I made myself pretty clear as well on where I stood when it came to the three amigos that night. I'd already nicely disassociated myself with them, announced that I wasn't having any more to do with them. And that was it. I wasn't mean or nasty. I wasn't an asshole about it. I just said, look, I'm going my own way. That's it. And the reason why that was because I was constantly getting harassed to give up the video to Freddie about Mr. Gun. And I wouldn't give it up because Freddie's the type of guy. He wanted that video so he could go, hey, look at me, folks. And it's not that I wanted to try and give any glory or anything like that there. I actually reported, I said, told you last night, there is an investigation in the gunk. Right? He is being investigated by the proper authorities. It is happening. And that is why I said also last night that I wouldn't even touch Taylor's Frost because I know there's an investigation going on. And I'm pretty sure Freddie knows that and OG know that. They should know that because they're the people that know the most about all this stuff, as they claim. So any videos and stuff that I had about Mr. Gunk have already been given to the cops. End of story. So I felt, honestly, for me to turn around and to put that up on YouTube, for people to sit and dismantle, for people maybe to edit for whatever reason, all the rest of it, not a clever idea. I come from a family background of, well, people that know the law. So sometimes they ask advice when I do that, and that's why the video wasn't being handed over to anybody. I wasn't scared about um, getting the strikes as such. If it got strikes, it got strikes. But it didn't make sense to me when the likes of Freddie was already using my videos and putting them out there. His channel is twice the size, times and a half the size of mine. So they're doing all this. They're putting these videos out. They've got them out there. Apparently, it's wrong with me to think, well, if I get another strike here, I'm one strike away from a channel being taken out. It's wrong of me to think about preserving the channel. And while they were putting out the same content that I would be putting out, it didn't make sense to me to do that. Now, they say that's a bad thing. I say, well, it's whatever way you want to look at it. As I say, the truth is like a kaleidoscope. Okay, you look through it one way and it looks perfect. You twist it another way and it's fucking in the doghouse. It looks absolutely twisted, and that's what the truth is, folks. It is a kaleidoscope of pictures all twisted round, and it's up to you to discern yourself what you believe is right. And the only way to do that is based on who you are as a person, how you think, your morals, your integrity, all that stuff. And that's it. Yes, Jeffro, or kaleidoscope. That is what the truth is. Kaleidoscope. Because the truth in my hands looks one way, and the truth in somebody else's hands looks a completely different way. And it's the same damn thing. It's the same incident. I don't understand why people are saying that they can't say tacos. Well, I can't. There she is there. She is there. I can see her words coming up. No problem. I don't understand why others can't say they can't see her. Um, I'm assuming none of the mods have blocked her or kicked her out for any reason because I don't see her disrupting. So I'd like to think that they haven't. Um, uh, Jeffro, you make a very good point. This difficult to discern is absolute right. And the last thing, you know, you're discerning yourself with people that you don't know. You're trying to throw on people, being honest. You're judging people kind of how you judge yourself. And I judge myself high enough. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. I'm not. I make shitload of mistakes. I do get things wrong. Of course I do. And I can be a freaking, well, I can be a bit harsh sometimes. But I'm just an ordinary guy, obviously, like everybody else. But I like to think that I've got scruples and morals that have been instilled in me since I was a child. And those are the same morals that my parents would have had put in, and their parents would have been putting in, and so on and so on. That's just kind of because I had a very solid, not a solid upbringing, but I had a solid environment around me, should I say, of the type of quality people who haven't been marginalized by all these different cultures and different ways of living and all this stuff. Everybody kind of sees off a similar page here to a certain degree. And when certainly when you're younger, the church is very important. Everybody's introduced to it. Most people don't continue to go to it once they get a bit older and whatnot. But it does tend to instill right and wrong in you, and that's what I kind of. If I see right, I'll say it's right, and if I see wrong, I'll say it's wrong. And if I end up that my wrong should have been right, I'll correct myself hands down. And if anybody has a problem with anything I've said, doesn't like something I've said, um, disagrees with something I've said, I'm not going to be turning off my comment sections either, folks. You're more than welcome to leave a comment addressing what the problem is, and you know, seek a response from me, and I will give it. In the story, I will give it. And if it ends up that I was wrong, I will hold my hand up and say I got it wrong there. Such and such person, sorry about that. There, end the story. I'm big enough that I can do that. I can see kicks tackle cults here. So this is just mostly listening, so it's not really chatting. So whoever's going to just this whole thing, I can't see somebody. Look, anyway. So I played myself last Saturday. Yes, back to onto this page now. Last Saturday, there was a live stream that I was in for a wee bit. I left. I stayed left because of things to do. I never went rest near it the rest of the day. And whenever I came out about the whole, I wasn't having the whole Freddy thing anymore. Um, thought it was nonsense. Later on that night, I'd had a message off OG asking, saying, "Oh, that was a bit of a laugh. That was a bit of a mess or something." I couldn't understand what he was talking about until the next day, and then I watched the videos, and the videos I watched was not on Treach's channel; it was on a different channel. Right? But from what I saw, it led to people. This particular stream, what happened was one of the regulars had a knock, had her dog got out. Um, she went off looking for a dog, big dogs, those Akitas. I think they're American Akitas at that, which are even bigger. But anyway, she managed to get the dog, and this young man helped her, 21, 23, whatever. And he helped her and bring the dog back to the house, and she gave him a pack of smokes. I think they maybe talked for a wee bit, and that was, the way he went his way. Then apparently 6 in the morning, he knocks again. He's looking at a cigarette. From what I understand, it could be wrong here. I think the door was answered, and it was like, "Here, this is too early." Knock it in the head. True. I could be wrong there. So if I am, please correct. Um, but it ended up lady, this regular, gets on the Twitch's hangouts on the live stream, is talking with asking Week now about, "I've got this guy here. He seems to be in a bit of trouble. He's been telling me a bit of his story, etc. Like, and I don't know what to do. What do I do, Week now? What do I do, Week now?" She's asking Week now, "What do I do?" Now, the panel itself, apparently, Week now was there. Freddie wasn't there. Freddie was away on a bike ride, apparently. Um, OG was there, I believe, because I can remember him talking. I remember Treats talking, and he had a couple of his family members in beside him on his camera. And China was there as well. He was in the stream, but apparently he was sleeping. Um, don't know about that, but anyway, it was probably late. I don't know what time it would have been there, but anyway, I'm not sure if there was anybody else. If that was it. But they started talking about this gentleman. He started telling the story to, I think it was Wake, what he was experiencing. Bit of a hard knock story where, you know, he's a bit of a header. That's how you would, to anybody who just came into the stream who is kind of a wee bit woken up about things, if you saw this, you would think to yourself, hey, Wanda, you would think to yourself, wow, this is a wee bit out left. Like, this is a bit crazy, right? Now, the guy talked to himself. He didn't really make sense. One minute he's telling everybody he's broke. He's living in, he's no stuff in his house, and then the next minute he's mentioning he's got an iPhone X and facial recognition, and talking about Apple MacBook Big Pros, etc. Like that. These are not cheap things. Had a business and all this here stuff going on, and You know, he didn't do drugs, and he was doing drugs. And you know, from looking at it, I would kind of looking after afterwards. I would kind of think uh, he kind of took advantage of the situation, and but that's because I kind of, you know, I know of Wanda, etc. I know she's known OG and Treats a long time, and those three have been doing a lot of research over the last couple of years via Twitter stuff and whatnot on the whole Pizzagate and uh, whatnot, and what's been going on Twitter regarding these type of people. So, you know, if I hadn't known Wanda, if Wanda was a complete stranger, I would be saying to myself, and honestly, without doubt, I'd be saying, this is a fucking lark. What the hell is going on here? Why is this happening? Um, and the chat were questioning this at the time as well, you know, and they were telling Wanda, look, Wanda, I think this guy's, you know, maybe using you or whatever, like, because obviously they like Wanda. They're not, you know, they're not trying to freaking. They think there's something wrong with the whole situation, but they're not trying to tell Wanda that Wanda, you're larping us here, and that's what I understood from the video at the time. And it ended up getting in a whole big mess. But before it did, before it could get any really further, Freddie just happened to be you know, off his bike ride, ready to jump into the stream. As again, he white knights, you know, he guns drawn. He tells this kid to go change his stars and over his head, and he was quite rough for the kid, to be honest with you. And I kind of, that's one of the things that I kind of really dislike about Freddie is his approach. He's far too aggressive with people he doesn't know who he's talking to. You know, people could it could actually have been a genuine. It could be an actually genuine kid. I imagine that kid actually does have problems. To be honest with you, I think he probably does. I think he's got you know, he's had some sort of issues. He's got some sort of drug issues, whatever, like, and you know, he playing up the situation a wee bit or whatever. Because one thing I know in life, folks, is, and I can guarantee you there's 42 people watching this right now. I can guarantee you every one of yous in here watching this, whether you're chatting or just lurking and me talking, every single one of us has had a lot of fucking hard times, have had a lot of fucking problems in our life, like one stage or another, and we've all learnt the lesson of pain, of emotional pain, of losing someone, of somebody betraying you, and all of that stuff. All of it, right? We have all experienced that there. Even them freaking LARPers or All Stars, they've all experienced it. So one thing we've all got in common, right? Nobody's life is great at the end of the day. Some people, you know, I'm not suggesting it's like that all the time. I'm just saying people experience moments in their life when it's fucking horrible. It's a real hard time. And people do go some horrific things in life, some more so than others, some more often than others for whatever reason. Um, and it affects people in different ways. It really does. The psychological damage and effect that it does in people. I'm going to be honest with you, folks. Every Thursday, I go for counselling. Every Thursday, I go for counselling. That's what I've been doing with my time over the last X amount of months. Not because of any real thing, and not because of anything on here, but I never would freaking come on to YouTube and start my sob story. You know, start boo hoo, you know, I have a hard time and all the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. None of us are perfect. We all have a struggle of one sort or another. And the biggest thing to try and recognize is that we all have that. So just like if I had been in that stream, and I'll be honest with you, if I had been in that stream, I would have treated it the exact same way as I treated the Jenny Simon one. And that was when everybody started being a dick with her and being aggressive with her and just crying her eyes out and all the rest of it. my attitude would have been the exact same as what it was then, and that was here. Hold on a minute, everybody. You know, this is a person here. You know, you asked her to come and speak. Let her speak. Don't be sitting there bombarding her and blasting your tongue. And the funny thing is, and I said it last night, and I'll say it again tonight. The funny thing was, Wake absolutely trashed that girl that day. Wake now absolutely trashed her. And he trashed another girl as well from the Dragon's Den. I don't know the girl personally, but I watched her trash her afterwards. And I didn't watch it at the time. I mean, afterwards, when the stream was over, I realized just how much he had trashed her. And I was like, this is not a guy I really want to be bothered with. And the other two amigos were of the same sentiment, but it seems people were saying one thing to me and saying another to him by his claims. Now, he was offered a chance to come back, to come on here. He chose to come on like 10 minutes after the stream, or 10 minutes away from the stream ending. I told him 11 p.m. UK time, and he comes at 10 to 1 in the morning when I'm getting ready to go to bed and ending the stream. And I said to him, look, you're more than welcome to come back tomorrow night. We'll sit and talk about this, no issues. Now, I don't see a difference between these arseholes coming to talk to me about this, because whenever I was asked to come and explain myself to them, well, I went, I showed up, I didn't, chicken out of it. I didn't have anything to hide. I wasn't worried about it. Like, right, okay, no problem. I confront this, no bother. And when you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, there's only me here. There'd be three of them. So, but as I say, and the funny thing is, these people were trashing these ladies, and I don't think it's right, because you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know where they are. And I realise there has been some channels have used this as a defence mechanism of saying, oh, I've heard them say it myself, oh, I was feeling suicidal and you put a video up about me, and well, how would you like that if that was on your blah, blah, blah. I'd be honest with you, if something like that was to happen, it really wouldn't be on my conscience too much, because that's something that this person would be thinking about doing for a long time. So the whole suicide thing doesn't work. But at the end of the day, they are people. You don't understand what they've experienced in life. And if you think you've experienced hard times in life, then you've got to take into consideration that these people have experienced very hard times as well, regardless of who they are. They've experienced them. And they should be treated as such. End of story. And that would have been my approach. I would have just said, Freddie comes in all gobby and telling the kid, demanding it, and he's obviously got problems. He's looking help. I did say to Wanda at the time, later on, I wasn't even sure what she was talking about, but I said, look, Wanda, if people give you a hard time about it, well, don't worry about it. Just shrug it off, because at the end of the day, you've done something about it. And she said she did something about it, and so on. Now, the other side of the coin was the people in the chat were watching this. They heard Freddie's reaction as well. And Freddie, once he jumped in that stream, he set the tone of that stream. It changed the whole tone of that stream. And I wonder how would it have been if the stream was, sitting eating popcorn and banning it. But they weren't, they were trying to say, Wanda, listen, watch yourself for this guy. That's basically what they were saying. And then they weren't banning it. But, he comes in, jumps in, guns blazing, sets a tone. So that meant the rest of the panel all had to react in a way at all. Now, I'll give Treats his credit here. He did try to kind of, whoa, Freddie, hold on a minute. He did try and do that. So I'll give him credit for that, because he knows himself what Freddie did wasn't right. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said that, you know. But at the same time, the advice that he gives the kid is crazy. He says go report it, yes, fair enough. And then he starts telling him to start up YouTube channels and stuff like that there. And you're like, the last thing YouTube needs is another person who's in trouble or has problems and hasn't sorted them out. You know, there's so many people on here that have got some. If they're having problems at home with some sort, whatever it is, they'll tend to come on here and vent it through YouTube, and they'll take it out on other people. You know, they'll be aggressive with other people when really it's not. There's no grounds for it. So anybody who didn't know Wanda, right? And not everybody in the stream does know Wanda. I don't know her that well. I've just seen her around the Discord. I've said hello a few times, said hi in a message, and watched some of her stuff. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, would I say, I probably know the guy two doors down from me better. I don't know who he is either. But hold on, folks. For all intents and purposes, I feel Freddie jumping in there the way he did. It kind of exasperated where the stream was going and where the chat was going and what they were thinking. So things kind of went to pot a wee bit. And after the stream, one or two people were talking about it. They weren't, they were trying to ask questions about it, but nobody else would talk about it. And there was a video went up. Now, that video, I can fully understand why that video was put up. But I think a wee bit maybe across the line of communications that it was seen as a personal attack. Treats lost his mind a wee bit over it because one of his family members was in it. But at the same time, he asked his family member to be, come sit with us in the stream. Come on. If you don't want these people on YouTube, don't bring them onto your channel on YouTube. This is a bit daft. So, well, Freddie drops everything, and he's way again this big raid. It was just a quick, but I know Freddie. Freddie likes to lurk. Guarantee he's watching there. And, from the grand scheme of things, because nobody was talking about it, that made it worse. The video goes out, people react badly to it, and at the end of the day, all this lady is doing is asking, what the hell is going on? Because this looks like a lark. And it does look like a lark. If you go and watch it, it looks like a lark. If it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, it's a duck, folks. But because you know these people, that makes it all the more difficult. But it doesn't mean people are absolved from, what do you mean this is a bit daft? Oh, sorry, Rebel, I know what you mean now. Right, anyway. Just because you know people, it doesn't mean they're absolved from or shouldn't, say, well, this is what I know, this is what I found out, and instead it was the complete opposite. So, I kind of then she gets attacked for this video, and I'm like, well, that's bullshit, like, because this is the same crap that happened to me, the exact same crap, and I'm starting to realize that, a lot of similarities going on here down the road, like, it's not everything's the same by all means, but at the end of the day, there was a lot of similarities of what was happening with this channel and what was happening on my channel. And she was attacked, and I'm like, well, that's not right. Like, and when I watched the attack video, of course, it's OG1. And he turns the comment section off, so this channel Evolve can't make it, give a response to the video. Said channel has not ever turned her comments off. And his attack is all about being snakes. He makes a jibe about, you know, her being a man. We all know she's not a man. We've all heard her voice. We've all, so the whole thing about, thinking it's a man and stuff like that there was bullshit. I personally believe it was a jab at the fact that she does those transgender, she does do some of those transgender videos, which are very eye-opening, very disturbing, but very real. Now, everybody's journey is different, and what they want to do research on or look into and share with other people, you know, unless it's something, like um, like a real racist thing or something like that there, I certainly don't have a problem with it. I don't see why anybody else should, because you are in the, this part is allegedly called the truth community. That's it, and everybody is trying to show on different types of truth. Uh, or sorry, different categories of truth, should I say? Truth about the trans movement, truth about the LARPers and the All Stars, truth about whatever, right? But there's all wee different pockets, categories, and you shouldn't be just focused into one category, And I think the more people looking at different things, the better. It helps everybody see things a lot clearer, and it's even better whenever you can put trust and you're able to already have a bit of respect built for that person who's doing these videos. So if you've got a collective of say 10 people who are kind of all working in different projects, you can give a bit of trust to them. You've got that they've earned respect from you, and that they likewise think the same about you. Well, that can only be a good thing in my mind. But it's come to be that people can't do that. You're only allowed to talk about what they want you to talk about. And if you don't talk about what they want you to talk about, you're going to be kicked to the curb. It's as simple as that. Now, at the end of this, uh, a lot of people ended up getting attacked over this. A lot of people ended up getting kicked to the curb. And those people on the panel look pretty foolish in my mind, look pretty stupid. The chat weren't banned, and it just didn't look right. It did not pass the smell test, and they wouldn't address it. Somebody else addresses it, they get attacked. It was all wrong, 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 and that's what led. I said about this last night. Well, Mr. OG put out a video today. Let's finish this. It's called, and they're now talking about the three amigos are going to talk to the All Stars about gunk and truth, right? Something they wanted to do months ago. But if I remember rightly, nobody wanted to talk to the All Stars months ago in a live stream. Everybody just wanted them to address the live stream. Or sorry, everybody wanted them to address the topic of Net for Truth. They didn't want to get into bed with them and give them a hug, I have my own hot water bottle, folks, you know. So they announced that they're going to go. I'm getting a wee bit ahead here, but anyway, they're going into this live stream. Freddie, OG, and Wake Now, who apparently has lost his channel, and that's a shit one if you have Wake Now, because you did do some good stuff. Did watch some of your stuff, and just because I think you're a bit of a dick, especially when it comes towards women, I would have still watched your stuff because I know some of your stuff is going to be worth watching, and it's going to be interesting. So, he apparently has lost his channel. OG put this announcement out that I'm sorry to hear you have. I genuinely mean that, by the way. I'm not taking the piss at all, because I know you have a hard time reading me, Wick. So anyway, the video comes out. There's a description here, and I'm not going to play the video because I don't want to give anybody the reason to copyright strike me. Uh, and going the way things have been going, I mean, recently, I feel that's justified saying that. It says here, me, Freddie, and Wake have accepted an invitation to talk about Dave T and Gunk from Titus Frost. Well, they received that invitation last Saturday, whenever Titus Frost put up a live stream, and he and more or less, kind of like a response to the Treats live stream, because in that live stream, Treats was kind of like crying about Titus a lot on it, and so Titus gives this whole spiel about the 5th of November stuff, and he invites them on. Well, nobody's in the live stream to see it, so I said, I'd go if you want, no problem. No, I'll do it. I have no problem saying what I have to say about it. I've got plenty of evidence about it all. Uh, some that's been collected, by others, and some that's been collected by myself. But so these guys all once I had said that I accepted that, these guys came out and called me a fucking sellout. Okay, I was a sellout. I was a shill. I was this. I was that. I was all the names that day. Freddie comes out making a video, all these accusations and whatnot, because I was able to live stream. And the terrible thing is, this is how paranoid this community is. Um, the biggest thing that fucked with Freddie's head was, and this is how it looks to me. He'd probably tell you different, but this is what I see. The biggest thing that fucked with Freddie's head was that Gunk struck me, give me a copyright strike, and yet I was able to stream the next day. But I took down two videos I put in private that were about Gunk, which I didn't believe had much relevance because Freddie put them out. He had them in his channel. OG had them in his channel. I think actually OG deleted his at one point because OG deletes a lot of his videos whenever he feels like it, and it's not a problem then. There's a lot of hypocrisy in YouTube for these people. A lot of hypocrisy. But so Freddie can't get his head around this that I've been given a copyright strike, but I'm able to freaking live stream because he got struck and he wasn't able to live stream. But the difference between me and Freddie's live stream or strikes is my strike was against the video and his strike was against the live stream. So Freddie wasn't able to live stream. I was. And if you read the rules, I showed them last night. They were on the video last night. If you watched it, you know exactly what the rules say and exactly what they expect. So there are a lot of fucking hypocrites on this thing. Now they've come out and announced that they're going on Titus Frost, and that one of them was turned around and said, "Well, we called Scooby a sellout there, so he's not really a sellout, you know, but he's actually not going on Titus Frost. We are." So what do I do now? Do I turn around and call them sellouts? They say they're freaking banning the freaking All Stars, blah blah blah. They've sold out for whatever it is they're going to get out of it and all this nonsense. No, because I know why they're going on. But um, that's part of OG's video announcing he's going on Titus, and then he talks about me a bit. He says we feel we have no choice. See, they're going on Titus Frost because they feel they have no choice, seeing as Scoob wants to attack everyone and grow his channel now through drama and dress up. Drama and dress up, really? Yeah, I'm building my channel on drama and dress up. I've lost more subs than I've gained over the last week. You know, I think I've lost about 30 or 40 subs. I've gained quite a few subs too, but I've still got less subs than I had started at the start of the week. So I don't, and the whole dress up thing, I'm going to explain about me freaking doing the parody comedy again because these people haven't got the brain cells, or else they just care to ignore it or twist things to suit their narrative. And see, that's the thing. I can call a spade a spade. I know where they're going on freaking Titus. All right. I'm not going to call them sellouts. I'm not going to strip the all that crap because I'm not attacking them for going on that side of things. I didn't want to be attacking them at all. These people come out and attack me first, by questioning me just because I got a freaking strike from Gunk on the Sable live stream because these specialist researchers who know how to use Google didn't know how to use it well enough to be able to find out what happens when you get copyright strike. I was able to do it. That's how difficult it was. I was able to do it, and I showed just last night. So I have absolutely no interest in all that crap side of things. If they go on the Frosty and give them over, fair enough, do what they want. Personally, I'm not going to sit and slate them for going on the Frost. I don't think it's the right thing to do because I do believe Freddie knows that Gunk is under investigation. And they also try to slate me. And because he's under investigation, I do not believe that is the best thing to do in that situation because the all stars are involved in that investigation. I don't mean their research and everything we got there. I mean they are being investigated also. It's all going to lead down that road. And by them inserting themselves into that live stream and talking about this subject, I don't think it's going to be too helpful in the long run. I said that last night, and I said that's why I had never any intention in doing it. I was just testing the reaction, and I got I saw the reaction. Everybody else saw the reaction, and that's how it is. They cared to lie, call me freaking sellouts and all that shit. Anyway, so where's this OG one? The whole dress up thing. The reason why I did that there is because I was trying to think a way of doing videos, a live stream where I could freaking show things without getting copyright struck. That wasn't going to require me to spend a lot of time doing, all this research crap, and because as I've explained, I've been struggling for quite a while now. So that was my answer that I come up with. Parody, comedy channel as such. Take a hand out on them that way. And that's exactly what it did. And I thought it was effective because at the same time people were having a laugh and a joke, seeing the funny side of it. A lot of people seemed to enjoy it. They also saw the point of the message behind it. I thought it was quite a good thing, but other people think it's not. But I didn't get any copyright strikes because they can't copyright strike my own material. When you don't show these people, they can't copyright strike. So that's all right then. The rest of the let's do this in the description. We three have been a driving force behind this whole exposing situation. That's him, Wakeman, and Freddy. Okay, nobody else done anything there, apparently. Fair enough. And have taken so much abuse on the way, but finally we can get this looked at and get on our ways with our lives. And that's what the three of us want. Well, who's going to be looking at it? The All Stars. Who are the All Stars? You know, they're not the police. They're not investigators. They don't have any jurisdiction. Uh, they're just people who, like citizen journal channels, basically, that want to be reporters or investigators. They want to. Well, I say, look, go join the police if that's what you want to do. You want to freaking investigate crimes and all that. There, go join the police because that's what they do. There's a whole organization, and do you know what's even better? They're worldwide, folks. You know, I can't think of a country that you can't join the police. Anybody can join the police anywhere. So there you go. And they'll let you investigate to your heart's content, where you can actually do something about it. You can bring a case to in front of a judge. You can impose charges on the perpetrator. You can bring him in front of a judge, and you can get him sent to jail. Are the All Stars going to do that, folks? No. No, the All Stars, they're going to talk about it for a wee while, okay? There's going to be a wee bit of back and forth. It's not going to get too nasty. No, it's not going to get nasty. I know it's not going to get nasty because that's already been sorted out. Um, it's going to be a wee chat, and you know, I'd be interested to see what comes after it. I've got a fair idea what I think will come after, but it'll be an interesting. And you know, on I think it was Tuesday or Monday, Freddie was saying he wouldn't be going on with these clowns. It's too little, too late. This should have been months ago. I'm going nowhere near them. And now he's going on. OG was the same, you know, but then he changed his mind. He was going to go on if, you know, I didn't do it justice. If I didn't do a good enough job, he would. As if OG could do a better job than me, basically. That's what he's saying there. I find that a wee bit of an insult, like, because as nice as a fella OG is and all the rest of it, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. And, well, that's just how I'll put that. Whereas I know I can cut deep. We all remember our little phone call over Lift the Veil, where he practically hung up. He did hang up. That wasn't practically, he did hang up. He looked absolutely gormless and stupid and didn't know where to run. He made some of the most ridiculous statements because he didn't have time to think about it. And we got to see it. We got to see the true thoughts of Lift the Veil. You know, we got to see it. He actually accused me of trying to ruin that for Triff's life. No consideration for the 8-year-old kid, who's not an 8-year-old kid now, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Like, so I mean, you know, I know how to cut, put it like that, or sorry, I know how to carve a roast. OG seems to be one of these like manic depressive people to me. And again, I'm not trying to offend you, OG, but you're one of these people. Like every once in a while, you'll come on all happy and you'll talk normal for a while, and then you'll start onto this stuff, and then the tone will die down. Go over the same stuff again, and you know, I'd leave a stream. I say I'd leave a stream wanting to swallow a bottle of pills, like you know. I think I tried to suffocate myself at one point. It didn't work, folks. Still here. I'm joking, obviously, but you know that's how I find it because constantly going over the same thing is just ugh, and that's why I kind of changed my thing up on my channel because I know this and I recognize this, and I kind of feel like OG just couldn't handle it for whatever reason. He just couldn't handle it. And he talks about being attacked. Well, I got plenty of attacks and I'm still getting attacked. I get attacked every time. So this one particular channel puts a damn video up or wants to talk. on her channel. So the next part is, we are not interested in YouTube fame. Just getting these Pizzagate content makers looked at it is good enough for us, and it looks like we're going to achieve that at least. Okay, so you're going to get them to talk with you about Gunk and Net for Truth. If Honeybee's not there, there's no real point. She needs to be there. I'd also like to point out that whenever I said to Titus Frost about going on, he replied back to me saying such and that was it. There was never any follow up. I didn't speak to him ever again. So from last night, from me saying what I said, they've been able to get the whole of Titus Frost and organise a stream for Saturday, which I think is pretty good considering about, the time differences. Yes, Jeffro, I am absolutely sick to the teeth of hearing about Gunk and Dave T. Said it before, Gunk is under investigation. Dave T is a different kettle of fish, sorry, different kettle of fish. And this was another thing that I had to pop at me for. Because my attitude's changed. You can see how much a person's, put the heart into something. And he was talking about what I said last night in the stream about Net for Truth. And I will repeat what I said last night about Net for Truth. And that is, this is my honest opinion about it. He's sick. He's vile. He disgusts me. I don't believe he should be on the internet, but he is on the internet and he's not breaking any laws being on the internet. Now, no matter how many times you put up, OG, that he is not. You have heard it. We have heard the phone calls. We have heard people phone him up. He is not a level 3 convicted pedophile in New Jersey. Okay? You researched all this. You are the people who claim you know all it is about it. You're the best people to talk to Titus Frost and all about this. And you don't know that Dave T isn't a level 3 pedo in New Jersey. If he steps in New York, he is. But he's not in New York, he's in New Jersey. And when he's in New Jersey, he's free to do what he wants. And at the minute, it's not illegal for a level 3 to be on the internet. Not against the law. We've phoned these people up. We've phoned up the cops. We've asked them. And the annoying thing about this is OG knows this. So he's just saying all this for damn effect, which even again shows all the more of his character more than friggin' mine, I think, at this stage. They're not trying to get fame. So, why bother announcing you're going on the Titus Frost? Because I'm pretty sure everybody would find it pretty quick. Also, I'd like to thank Titus for actually being prepared to let us showcase this. Showcase? It's a showcase, is it? I mean, to me, it sounds like you're crawling up the guy's ass. We can finally get some closure and move on and leave the drama for the drama queens. Well, I'm going to say this now. Talking to Titus Frost is not going to give any closure to anything. Talking to Honeybee is not going to give any closure to anything. All it's going to do is cause more talking about said people that everybody is sick about hearing. Again, I do not think Net for Truth should be allowed on the internet. It's not my beliefs. I did not tell anybody to leave him alone. What I said was, he's not breaking the law. He's allowed to be here. But I also showed a way how, if people wanted to, they could contact the channel because his military record that he claims looks extremely suspect, and I have done a lot of looking at this one. Looks really suspect. The claims he makes our suspect, he says he's an Eagle Scout, yet there's another Dave, not for truth, or well, not for truth, but there's another Dave T out there who passed away in 2009 with the same damn life, basically. And when you start looking at these things together, it looks like this guy may be stolen valor. He's using this to build his profile up. So I told everybody, contact Net for Truth, or not Net for Truth, Buds131. I put a couple of links to the video and I said, send them here, email them. Because, the sad part about this is we've already exposed myself, Wake, OG, all that there. I've already made videos about Dave. We've talked about him. He's blue in the face. Everybody's looking for ways. We've explained what he is. But from the very day we did that, he had 1.4 thousand subscribers, and he's now over 10,000 subscribers, folks. So we didn't do much damage there. People don't care. People are quite happy to listen to his conspiracy that he's a victim. He was framed. But it would be a very different story if people knew, if it was true and found out that he was stolen valor. And it's sad that this is actually the way it would be, because you would think it would be the complete opposite. People would have been more outraged about him claiming stolen valor than claiming he was framed as a pedophile. And that's the God's honest truth. People would have more outrage about that than anything. Plus, I mean, he's been claiming this for years. So, I mean, who could, how could he deny that? He could hardly say someone's framed him for this. So that's why I put those links out there, and that's why I made the video informing people about Buds 3.1. You know, it's not hard. The channel is Buds 3.1. Go to the about section of him. He's got an email there. Get his email address and tell him about Net for Truth USA, and say, we think this guy's stolen valor. And by the way, he's a convicted level 2/level 3 pedophile. And he's making all these crappy, weird videos about QAnon and all this shit. We think he is on the registry and all this. Just basically tell him how it is. And I'm telling you now, they will look into it. But at this point, um, it doesn't happen overnight. This guy, there's so many people doing this stolen valor crap. There's so many investigations. Plus, he's got his own life and business that he's running as well. So, if you manage to get a reply, great. Tell somebody about it. Should it be, anybody, put the word out to Wake or OG or Ferry. Me personally, I don't really want to be balling with them anymore. I've had my belly full of it all. I think it's a very disturbing topic to be constantly focused on, especially when there's very little that you can do. But do remember that if it ends up that he has stolen valor and this does affect him on his channel, that there is more than one way to skin a cat. Two cats are sleeping, so they didn't hear that. So, you know what I mean, folks? There's always more. There's always another way. When you think back to freaking, what do you call it, that Chicago mob boss? Now, I don't think anything really will be accomplished from tomorrow, unless they go down the route that I went down, and that is go for the stolen valor angle. Capone Remy, that's right. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name. The freaking memory is shocking. Shocking. But, see, if it changed my train of thought at all, I'm bollocks. So, I'm not going to call them sellouts. I'm not going to give him a hard time about going on freaking Frosty. Again, I don't see a benefit, but I think it's going to lead to the truth community all talking about these two channels for a couple of weeks, and it will lead nowhere as usual because, I don't know. I'm sick going over it. But look, at the end of the day, I got called out for being a sellout. I got told it was this and that. Uh, my problem was with Freddie. I was giving OG the benefit of the doubt. When OG comes out and starts attacking a channel that had been supportive of him, that had, backed him up, all that stuff, and then he comes out and attacks them because she asked a few questions. It's like fucking bullshit, man. The worst about it is he can't even fucking, he can't even apologize to her. He still called her a damn snake in the video, along myself. Well, I say, OG, you're spineless, mate, because you sent me a message in Discord this morning and telling me that I would have an hour to respond, and then he was going to unfriend me, etc. Well, that was at 10 o'clock. Um, I'm not on my computer all the time. I'm not on Discord all the time. I can only respond whenever I turn these things on. So, if you feel that you have anything that you have a problem with that I've said, you're more than welcome to come on my stream. I'd even go on yours. I'm not shy. There's plenty of women out there. I know that. But I just feel that the whole thing, it stinks. I do think, man, it was a very dodgy situation last weekend. I think it got a lot more out of hand than it needed to be, just because somebody asked questions and nobody else wanted the answer. Instead of 90% everybody's all friendly, gets on with each other. Instead of actually approaching the situation with a head, it's like they take it as like, how dare you? Well, nobody should be on YouTube making channels, making videos if somebody else is telling them how to do it or what to do. Isn't that what we say an MCN is? Isn't that what we call a sellout? Somebody whose channel is being orchestrated by somebody else. So if you're only allowed to put on the content that they find suitable, that's wrong. That's wrong. Kickstand, I had maybe Mystery Machine. It didn't go too bad, all things considered. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be way worse, considering I let in everybody and everybody in that Discord. It didn't. There was no vetting. I just put the link down, join if you want. It actually got on to pretty well, I thought, compared to others that I've seen. But you're right in a sense. It didn't. It didn't end well. I ended up. I had to delete it because there was some lurkers in there that I didn't appreciate being there, and I didn't want to make a whole song and dance by deleting them. So I thought the easiest thing to do is remove the Mystery Machine. So everybody's got their own vision of what I've been talking about this, and everybody will have their own vision of what Freddie and OG, their responses and how they've been with me over the last month, and that live stream where I was demanded to come and explain myself. Where OG was all fucking he had his tail up and he was all ready to kick off. Before I got into the chat, when I got into the chat, he sat with his gob shut, you know, until the stream started to change in favour of Scooby doesn't deserve this. And then they started to change their tone. And you can go back and watch it. You watch the chat logs. It's fascinating. You'll see the freaking you'll see the chat people in chat going, we're not having this, basically. That's what they're saying, basically. And them two idiots had to change their script. And yet they wanted to talk to me, but then they let in everybody and anybody, you know, to kind of have a pop at me as well. No, folks. That's not how you do things. If you have a problem with something, come and talk. It's not difficult. They could have talked. They could have messaged me. They could have talked to me in a three-way phone call, like we had done many times before. But that all ended after that stream because I knew where I stood. So people have watched this play out. I'll be interested to find out how it goes with these idiots tomorrow. I might even have to go and get a Superman outfit, eh? Although then again, the three amigos, that would be a Mexican outfit, wouldn't it? Go and get a Mexican outfit. That would be funny. Get a sombrero and a moustache and one what do you call it, a poncho. But that's too much fun, people. No, nobody wants to have fun on the internet and YouTube. You know, they don't want to have fun. You have to be talking about all the serious, dreary, depressing stuff all the time, or you're not with them. You know, you have to be like that. Buzzy, I don't want to know about your love life, girl. I had a Chinese for mine. I had a tiddlywinks. But I'm going to carry on do what I'm doing. I'm quite happy with the way it is. See, like you know, even just 20 people watching you twice a week, having a laugh and a joke. Sure, that's priceless. You know, I'd much rather make someone laugh than cry. You know, so I mean, but I am going to scrutinise with a fine tooth comb. I tell you what, if there's even a sniff of something not being right, I won't be too shy in calling it out and showing why. I think so. I'll still be crying. I'll still be having a laugh. I'll still be doing my parody comedy characters because that seems to be the way you can get away with exposing these channels as being idiots and not being copyright struck. It doesn't matter how many times I say that, people will still twist that to their own narrative. But I would like to think that people here are starting to wake up, are starting to realize, are starting to see how things operate. That if one person does something, he's a sellout. But if they do it, he's not a sellout. Okay? If one person goes and talks to another channel from the alleged dark side, he's a shill, you know, he's scum, he's this, he's that. But if another channel goes and messes about with, say, Hanson Truth and all that there nonsense that was going on, had nothing to do with the whole, gunk and stuff like that. There, that's big investigation. Uh, they're allowed to do that, no problem. You know, they're allowed to get caught up in all that aggro and stuff. But the other person is not allowed to go and watch another channel and leave a comment or ask if they could use some of that footage that they've used that made a video about. And if somebody wants to ask a question of them and what they're doing, they're not allowed to do that. But they're allowed to go and ask the questions of the All Stars. I hope and I really hope people are starting to sink in and see what's going on here. How people are being manipulated on this platform. Now, I know my channel's pretty new, but I've been about for years. Not always under my name, and not on in fact, I've had several channels over the last 6 years. Lord Busters, I do not have an affinity with Agent 19. How can anybody say I have an affinity for Agent 19? I can't help it, these people made a bloody video about me. Truth Convoy makes videos about me every day, but nobody complains about it. Nobody says, why have you got an affinity with friggin' Truth Convoy? Nobody complains about that. All I did was go and watch a couple of videos that he'd mentioned me in. And there was part of the footage that I hadn't seen before that concerned Truth Convoy, and it was quite revealing. And he asked him, could I use this, please? And he said yes. That's it. I'm not jumping into bed with a guy. I'm not round the back of the bike sheds having a smoke. Folks, you're allowed to go around other channels and watch whatever the hell you want. And if you come across a channel that's got content that you think's interesting, you're actually allowed to subscribe to that channel if you wish. Uh, Lord Busters, what can I talk about? How can I talk about Agent 19 on a negative light? Agent 19 has never done anything to me. Agent 19, I have not seen him attack me. All right? He's not pulling me into live streams and making me explain myself. He's not telling me that if you only make videos about this, if you talk to these people, we're not going to bother with you. That's wrong. They're not telling me you can't question this. I don't even watch Season 19 on a regular basis. I can't remember the last video I watched of his. It's probably something to do with freaking. No, I tell you what it was. There was that whole nonsense that I Spy did, where he used me. He claimed, he put up I Spy put up a fake sound clip of Agent 19 talking about himself, basically sexually assaulting somebody else. And the damn thing was a lie. It was made up. I couldn't believe the guy actually did that. I can't believe I Spy done this because he has a grudge with him. Wow. I wouldn't do that. But he turned around and blamed me. Oh, I used you. You're a pawn. Nobody's fucking pawn, folks. Nobody's using me to try and make enemies of somebody else. Nothing against Agent 19. Hasn't done anything to me. If he does something to me, I'll look at it, and if I think it's bad, then I'll say, stuff that, Agent 19. I'm not having anything more to do with you. Make sure you don't associate me with this. And see this guilt association thing, right? That only works if you're on Freddy's crew. Okay? Guilt by association does not work anywhere else. It only works if you're part of Freddy's crew. If you try and use guilt association against them, no chance. Here, you know that what I'm talking about, that live stream, here's the biggest joke. Biggest joke in that live stream. They pulled me in, and even in that live stream, I was talking about how I was bloody defending them. It's a joke. My attitude is simple. I'm my own man. I'm putting out my own videos, and I'll put out the content that I think is relevant or important that you know, I'm interested in. If somebody maybe had a request to do something or whatever, I'd be happy enough to look at it. And because I do like looking into things, it's kind of in my blood, the whole research and thing. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to be limiting myself to you know who you can talk to, who you can. Do you know what? I'd be honest. See, Thrift Convoy. I think Thrift Convoy is an absolute arse. But you see, if she actually turned around and said, "Look, sorry about what I've been doing here. I apologize. I shouldn't have done it. All right, I'm sorry. I'm not going to. I'm changing my whole way I'm going to do this. I'm sorry." I would actually say, "No problem. No problem." And if she turned around and said to me, "Look, um, I, I I do think there's something fishy here, though, about the whole situation to do with the thing that seems to affect her the most." You know, actually, I at the time offered to help her, and then she turned on me. I have no problem getting on with people, but if people are going to get on like assholes with me, I ain't going to get on like a bastard with them. That's just how it is. And I am a nice guy, and I know I'm a nice guy, and that's not blowing my own trumpet. I just know. Because when I compare myself with some of the arseholes I see around here, a fucking diamond. Still need to be cut. Hey, lady. So it's one of these things. Like people surprise you all the time. Now, what you'll notice too at the start of that stream that Freddie and OG were demanding me. Freddie talks openly straight away about you meet somebody a month ago and you may never work with them again or talk with them again. And he says, I'm a real person, but these people, these are all avatars. And unless you can look somebody in the eye and see who they are, etc., etc., etc. And after that, the next time that I believe I spoke to the two of them, there was one more call after that in a three-way. And it was during that, that sounds bad, that three-way video call, conference call, we'll call it. OJ, Freddy, and Scooby and Freeway. Dun dun dun! Bombshell. uh, Anywho, no, seriously, like I mean, uh, I had one more conversation after, and that's whenever I showed them who it was. I went on camera, and they were a bit surprised that I did go on camera. I feel weren't really expecting it. And I was like, well, tell me what part of me is not real. And then I went camera on here. So YouTube should not be all about doom and gloom. People should not be spending every free moment they have with their nose stuck in the most disgusting, vilest aspect of life you could possibly involve yourself in. It, People should just not be doing it. It's bad crap. Look, I live total vouch for this, right? We live in a place where freaking you've seen conflict between two communities for decades, and there's been a huge amount of bitterness and it's bitterness that's been the main driving force behind it. Right? It it drives it on. The hatred fills it, and all the rest of it. But you see, if you were to take a handful from each side of the community out, and bunch them all together and put them in a room and give them a few drinks, those people would get on like the best of friends. They would have a laugh, they would have a joke, it would be all good crack, and they would go about their merry way. But when you fricking send it back home again, it's a different matter. And we should be able to have a laugh here. You shouldn't be told you're a disruptor because want people to have a bit of crack, or you want to present things in a different way that it's a bit more palatable. So I'd be going about doing things my own way. I'm sure, lads, you can't wait for this big interview tomorrow with Titus and the amigos and the All Stars. Do you want the link, lads? Well, it'd probably be on too late for me anyway. But I'll see it later. I'll watch the rerun of it, whatever. Somebody else, I'm sure other people do videos of it anyway and scrutinize it. And rightly so, it should be scrutinized. And it's the right thing to scrutinize. And if it was me doing it, I would expect people to scrutinize it. It's okay to be judged. It's okay to freaking scrutinize. What's not okay is you're not allowed to defend yourself and you're thrown the wolves for doing it. Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate that to some degree. Not to some degree, I appreciate that. But um, it's the same way whenever, what do you call her? Honey Pig is going to be throwing out this Kids Inc. documentary. Man, I'm going to scrutinize that with a magnifying glass so damn big. I'm going to be able to see every damn pore in her skin, just like freaking Ice Spy does. Except I don't have the software he has. And you should be allowed to do that. You can't expect to be in a community of where conspiracy and all that there is the topic of conversation, and nobody's going to be allowed to say anything question. Yeah, Rennie, thank you. And you're pretty cool too. I've spoke to a few people on here, away from the drama of YouTube and whatnot, like, and they've seemed to have got on well with everyone. Like, I've never had a big issue with them. I've never had you know, a falling out as such. I do genuinely try and take on board, both directions. But when people won't take both directions from my side of things, I have no time for it. And this is what Freddie and this group has turned into. They have turned into a mini version of the All Stars, where it's all about them and it's all about the hate they've taken and it's all about the pressures and all the depression and all they've had to go through when they've been researching this, and it's like, if you can't handle it, don't even look at it. You know what? See anybody that ever comes over to Ireland slash Northern Ireland for a holiday, especially Americans and all, anybody that ever comes over here, you know, the I know who Freddie's grip is, handsome, and I'm not getting into that there. I possibly will put out my own list in the future, but I'm just gonna let things. Well, I'll just keep the ambers going at the minute. I'm gonna wait and see what way tomorrow turns out tomorrow night. So that'll be Sunday by the time I get to see it. But they've basically turned themselves. I'm not saying they intentionally done this, right? I'm not saying they intentionally done this, but the whole, the paranoia and the freaking, they're the only ones telling the truth, and everybody else bullshit. It's got to them. It's got to their heads. It's got to their heads that it's only them and nobody else, and everybody. They sound so much like they sound like the old stars now. Scoob, don't know what's happened to you, but you're coming out and attacking us, and well, you're a troll, you're a snake, you're this, you're that, you're a sellout, you're a shill, blah 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 blah. That's it. That's what Titus was doing 4 months ago. Whenever we freaking confronted him about this, that's what he did. They have turned into, you know, the All Stars. It's to say it may not have been intentionally, may not realise they're doing it. They're sitting there feeling that they're doing everything under the best intentions, the best of their ability, and all the rest of it. And they maybe do have the best intentions in mind, but sometimes you have to realise, you know, sometimes you have to step away from it, take a look back at what you're doing and where you're going and how people are starting to perceive you. See, if it starts off with just me, and I was classed as part of the group at one stage. I'm not anymore, but and I saw things and I started talking about it, and then you've got other people who are on the wrong end of the stick with them as well, and they're starting to see things and they're starting to talk about it. See, it started off with one person. Now you've got a few people. You know, they don't think they've changed. They have changed. Because I don't understand why or what, but they did. I'm still me. I personally think that anyway. And that's why in other streams that I talked about, um, things that how I've seen these things, how I've recognized them, and I connected it with previous experience that more or less, if you adapt it to what I'm telling you, it's the same thing. And that's how I started with my mindset and how I started to, whoa, this is getting a wee bit. Suddenly you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. It's like, fucking hell. Or else you're not part of the group. Get out. And in the end, I don't believe anything will be accomplished tomorrow other than more talking, 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 uh, and being friends. I mean, look, OG's on his knees at the minute, so he is, right? He's pulling Titus for us, sit down, so he is. Okay? He's groveling. That's what he's doing. Oh, I'm so grateful for Titus for giving us this opportunity. Are you kidding me? This guy slammed you for months, and you're so grateful. You're on your knees with fucking almost got his dick in your hand. Makes me mad. And then there's me and other channels who just had a bit of, oh, what's going on here? And you're the ones fucking getting slated and getting pushed out. But I'm over the moon and so grateful to Titus. Fucking joke. I watched that video and I was absolutely fuming. So I was fuming that not what he was saying. It was the grateful to Titus Frost. Nothing, Rob. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But it is a problem when you've got Titus Frost in your hand. So they're going to go away. They'll all be friends, but they'll still be emphasizing how much they're not monetized and we don't take money and all the rest of it. And then, I'm looking forward. Maybe they will just say, okay, that's done. We're leaving YouTube now. I don't think they will, but what do you mean a kid stream, Hanson? I'm not sure what you mean. Tell me what you mean. They're doing a stream with Kid, or I don't know what it is, but I have said, Handsome Freddy is a character who likes to go around and collect people. He's a lurker. He likes to watch channels from, but he reminds me of a sniper for crying out loud. He's a lurker. He likes to watch, and when he starts to like what he sees, he collects. He introduces himself to the stream, the comment section, and he always gets into the hangout, always to talk. He gets chatting, he collects people, and that's how he does it. Um, Cade, I personally don't have a problem with Cade. I've got a wee bit of an idea of what his politics is, and etc. But I'm not interested in that. I don't judge him on that there because it's not my side of YouTube, and I'm interested in what people think who run the world and all that stuff. I know who run the world, and I believe it's not them. Uh, and you only have to go and see who owns all the toilet roll companies that work out one out. But no, a serious kid. Listen, when I got trailed into my stream, there was a panel where I had to explain myself. There was a panel, like within 20 minutes or half an hour, there was a panel across it, and one person in the panel was Kid. And when the stream start, not the stream itself, the chat, when the people in the chat were being arseholes with me, Kid was the only one that actually spoke up and said, "Hey, this is bullshit. This is nonsense. This is wrong. It's wrong what such and such has did. You know, he's getting flack here. He shouldn't deserve it." And I didn't forget that. And I had my own run in with Kate. Well, lady, once you get your first video up, let me know, like, and I'll do a wee spiel and get it sorted for you. Making sure we get back the people that know you in Lady Court. who was attacking, who attacked Cam Long and all? Well, Lily, you're one of the people that I think is, from what I've seen so far, you come across as a, good person. You've had some. You suggested a couple of videos to me that I watched on your your videos, and I enjoyed them. Yeah. Well, here's the interesting thing. When Freddie and Kate were doing that stream, right? Uh, the next day, Freddie and Kate were being attacked by Drift Convoy as trafficking kids and all the rest of it, right? And within a day or two later, it had changed from Freddie and Kate to me and Winter Moon. And Freddie and Kate were more or less forgot about. They were kind of, there was videos deleted, etc., etc. Um, and I think when you look around, Freddie's previous history with these channels, Treats, OG, Wanda, all knew each other for 2 years. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But then you had OG and Freddie and Jamie Deluxe stream. OG was there for it was at least over a year anyway, from what I can remember. And at the same time, Freddie was a mod and would get on the hangouts and sit and talk. That all went tits up. You see, every time Freddie gets involved with a group of people, it goes tits up every time. And Freddie's always at the middle of it every time. It went tits up with Lift the Veil. It went tits up on the Fangos channel. It went tits up on freaking Jamie Deluxe channel. And now it's went tits up whenever he's created this group. Yeah, but that's what they do. They're spineless. That's them. They're spineless. It's annoying. They'll move off and say, I've told them they're more welcome to come in here and talk. I can talk to these people in a normal, rational behavior. No problem. I won't lose my temper. I'll not get angry. I'll say what I have to say, and that'll be that. And they can have what they want to say, and that'll be that. And then everybody can hear. Everybody can hear exactly what they need to hear, and people can decide for themselves. Because I have questions. I want to know why you got on like this with me. Why you have got on like this with Kickstand. Why you are now wanting to jump on the Titus Frost thing whenever you came out and said no way and called me a sellout for saying I'd do it when I'm not doing it and you are doing it. I'd like to know these things. I'd like the answers too. But you won't get them from them. And even if you did, it wouldn't matter because the next day they'll still go and do what they've been doing. It wasn't happening 3 months ago, Baz. To that extent, when you say, you know, I tell you what, lads, you said you're going to do a live stream this weekend. I'll watch it, right? I'll watch what you have to say about it all, and I'm quite happy to talk about it Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, sometime during the week here. That you're available if you want to come in to hang out and talk to me about it, about your live stream and what's going on and all the rest of it. I'm quite happy to talk to you about it. I don't want to go around anybody else's channel and talk about it simply because I don't want to be, classed as being a bit of a bitch and all the rest of it. If I've got problems with something, I'd rather just sort it out on my own channel, if you know what I mean. So if you want to do your stream, and I'm more than happy listening, and I'm more than happy to discuss things with you during, start or middle of next week. Not a problem. It, you know, here, listen, see tomorrow. I could have it all completely wrong about tomorrow. I could completely uh, wrong, full stop. I could be freaking. Tomorrow could end up being like a huge moment or something on YouTube. I don't know. It could be an absolute life changing moment for the truth community tomorrow. You don't know. I mean, I did tell him. I did say, look, like it or not, Tennis and all is the platform. These are the people that hold the freaking the highest point in the pyramid on YouTube when it comes to this community. There's only a few channels bigger, and well, they don't get involved with that type of stuff. Well, Anson, I would like to think I haven't spread any of this info. I would like to think that I can, you know, um, I don't make a good liar to start with. I'm a terrible liar. Um, you know, experiences in life, I was always kind of made to feel like I was lying when when I was telling the truth. So I don't make a good liar. So lying is not a thing with me. I will tell a wee odd white lie, or a wee but will what's the other word? Will I'll only tell enough that I feel people need to know, to a degree to kind of like you know I don't want to show my whole hand at once. You know what I mean? But in general, you know, can't abide liars. So I'm not in for it's all this nonsense on here. I just wish it would stop. I wish people would just go screw it, man. Let's just try everybody, and because there's a lot of people with beefs on here. It's crazy. And you want to be able to come to YouTube, a to learn a bit of insight, you know, from somebody else's way of life. I'm not saying that their insight is going to be much useful or it's not much useful. But I'm just saying that you want to try and learn points of view type of thing. You don't always have to believe them, etc. And then you want to come in on the YouTube and you get the thing about the truth community. It's not really big, and you end up seeing the same people over and over again. And you get to kind of meet them. Maybe you say hello someday in a chat and have a wee bit of conversation. And it should be a good thing to be able to try and elaborate on that and create something out of it. But I don't think a lot of these people want you to do it. Want you to do that. Um, I said it last night. I'll say it again. It's not blowing my own trumpet or anything, but I just think that some people saw that you know I didn't get on like American YouTubers, and it's attracted a certain type of person to my channel. It's attracted a certain group of people to my channel because I'm not, you know, screaming into the camera and you know calling everybody names and trolls and all the rest of it. Try and be a wee bit more relaxed. I don't think I heard that video, Laz. The last video I watched of China's was the one regarding kickstand, and I don't believe what he says. That he claims he tells kickstand what to do, and if she shows her face, that's because he's told her. He's told her not to show her face. I don't believe that's true at all. I think it's him just being an arsehole. And then you see, I think it's kind of. I think. I think the video was more mocking. I think he was trying to mock me a bit there. You would need a wee bit more of the background, judging by some of the things as that he says, the way he says them, like the word shite and all the background and being the boss of Kickstand. Well, there was another channel there that was always claiming that I was the boss of Kickstand, that I was telling her what to do, and that she would come to me and ask me to remove, I get Kickstand to remove her videos, and thought I was able to do that because, you know, Kickstand was basically under my influence, and that wasn't the case at all. And I think that China's part in that video, some of it, most what, was a bit of tongue in cheek directed at all that. Um, I believe that is more of it than anything. You know, he's not. You know, China is very careful. Yeah, I know there's other parts that and whatnot, but you're right. I do need to listen to it. But I'm just saying the parts regarding the whole kickstand thing. He was certainly digging OG out of a hole there, etc. He was throwing other people in front of the bus there. That I think that if people actually sat down and looked at the whole thing, you know, together rather than, you know, two sets of people trying to look at it apart and make sense of it, we would have got a far more valid answer than what ended up with. So, you know, Canada is Canada. Always some, you know, I've said that, last, you know, he is a provocateur. He does lead his subs up a merry dance. You know, he does build up subs to you know, he constantly goes over a constant topic, a certain topic, like he did with Trev Convoy. He made everybody curious to take a look, which we all did. We all felt sorry for Convoy, and we all spoke up on our channel, defending her to some degree, some more so than others. And he painted people in the wrong light when it came to Trev Convoy. He painted Winter Moon as trolling her and all the rest of it. She wasn't. It was the other way around. And my video proved that. And that's part of why. That's why Canada gave up the ghost of me, basically, because I put that video up that showed pretty clear that Drift Convoy is the queen of trolls. That she's trolling. She is not a victim. So China had no option other than to kick me to the curb. Although I find it bewildering. One minute he blocks me from his chat, the next minute he doesn't. You know, so that's one aspect. He worked everybody up into doing that. There, it was the same with what do you call her, K Smalls. He was doing that with, and Urban Disciples. He did that as well, where people. So I mean, in my mind now, because I realised what was going on between Convoy and Winter, and Winter was experienced what I was experiencing. I'm outside that experience, right? Now, outside that experience, I don't care about. But for that, what's going on at that moment, it doesn't matter if Winter Moon or I turn out to be the biggest asshole or the biggest bastard that ever walked the earth. The fact of the matter is, in that situation, the truth was being twisted and the narrative was a wrong narrative. And I don't believe two wrongs make a right. So that's why I kind of called that out. It wasn't appreciated by anybody in the group. It wasn't appreciated by Freddie. It wasn't appreciated by OG. It wasn't appreciated by Canada. And that was all part and parcel. But it was starting to go downhill way before that. It was before whenever I did my first video on Com4, it started going downhill. Wanda, I think everybody in general, right? There's 53 people watching here now, right? I think everybody in general is, at least taking in the partaking in the chat, etc. Um, Everybody in general likes to think of himself as a good person, likes to think of himself as doing the right thing, likes to, you know, likes to think people view them like that, likes to think that other people see that in them. And I think with all well intention in the world, that's possibly how it started for everybody. But this YouTube experience, it grinds you down. Somebody gets takes something the wrong way. Somebody doesn't like something, and the next thing it's all up in the air. It's all, and you can try and freaking talk to your blue in the face and say, "Listen, I didn't mean that. You're taking this the wrong way. You're doing this. You're doing that." It just seems to spiral, and I honestly think that people sit and listen to my chat now. I honestly believe they would rather just hit a reset button and everybody get on. Everybody would just rather that happen. Hit a reset button. Everybody get on together. You don't have to. You don't have to go home. Open your front door and find me in there. You know what? You know. I'm not asking anybody to take Winterman out for dinner here, folks. Or Toto there, set up home with her. We're not talking like that there. But what we're saying is there's absolutely no reason in the world why grown ass adults can't, can't go on the stream, uh, see people that they recognize and, you know, get on with them. It's okay not to agree with people. It's okay not to have, it's okay to have an opinion. It's okay not to even like somebody. That's okay. But, you can still, as I like to call it, respectfully dislike somebody, you know? And that's what it's all about. Uh, you just, what do you call it? But I think the majority of people in here now would just, man, see if there would just be a reset button, just get on with each other, yada, yada, yada. They would all hit that button. I think very few. Yeah, we could total. Huh? But you see, I feel like this because, my background and my history and where I live and where I've come from and what I've experienced growing up, living in a basic civil war type scenario. That's what it was basically. And anybody then would have just said, you know what, we've all had enough of this. Can we hit the button? Please just reset. We've had enough. And that's what we did. And if you come over, Northern Ireland is still not perfect. There's still bullshit. There's still assholes. There's still troubles. People still get freaking whatnot and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, the vast majority of people just thumbs up, have a smile, will have a drink with you, and go about their business. Have a laugh and a joke. say cheerio, see you around, folks, and that's it. That's the way the majority of people are, and it's the way people should be in here. I didn't realize how crazy, I really didn't realize how crazy some of this place can be. But even that, those people are just like me. They think they're doing their, they believe that you know, their intentions are the best in the world. Um, but it just turns out that I would love to be able to freaking, you know, people that come into the stream and say, eh, this is all right. And people have come into the stream plenty of times over the last month or so and said, these people are all right. And they've come back. And I've got people here from all different parts of YouTube that some of them maybe just wouldn't get on with such and such or wouldn't see eye to eye with this person and whatnot, but they're here. And I would like to see more people that do that. I would hand out the olive branch to a lot more people too. I know there's some people that just won't take it. Convoy basically, but vertical. See what you're saying there. I can't imagine it. Okay, I can imagine exactly how that feels. How, but bring it on to YouTube. Bring it on to YouTube is not the place. Trying to solve what happened in that circumstance on YouTube and connect everything to it via YouTube is not healthy. It's really not. And do you know what the worst thing is? Convoy is a very intelligent person. She really is. Intelligent lady, like, and she can be kind of funny when she wants to be. And i- i- if she put that mind into something more that wasn't in her made up, it would be freaking FK and Frodo. Um, why did you start exposing Gunk and Dave? Uh, the voices made me do it. So that FK and Frodo, the voices made me do it. Grow my channel. Clearly, that's the reason too. I wanted to grow my channel. It's been successful too. If actually, if you look at when I've got if you go back through Social Blade and look through my subs, I did get quite a few subs because I put those videos out. But does that make me a bad person? Because um, I don't want to be going on about Gunk and Dave all the time. I have exposed Gunk. He is under investigation. What more do you want me to do? I'm not the police. I'm not some international investigative detective agency. Mad Payman, it's crazy. Amazon, so many different internet stores across the World Wide Web there. I've got the Scooby shirts all set up already. So I actually had it all set up before I started my channel, you know. So Yeah, Empire cards, eh? Yeah, one thing always, comes into my mind when, talking like that there is the whole thing, that Johnny Cash song, Hurt. All I'll end up is a pile of dirt. That's it. Well, FK and Frodo, um, if you want, I'll send you a link and you can join the chat and I'll talk to you about it. You're right, Laz. The whole that's the unfortunate thing about the whole Gunk episode and Net for Truth is people actually, you know, started freaking monetizing their channels and monetizing all that crap that was put out there. I don't know what happened to FK and Frody. Certainly didn't kick him or anything like that there. I invited him onto my stream and he could talk to me about how I know it's being investigated. Well, you do know he's in Australia. You do know his location. And people did go to, people did contact the appropriate authorities on the matter. I don't think you're that shy, FK and Frodo. I think you'd be saving your voice for tomorrow night, eh, Titus? Fucking hepatitis is what you'll end up getting going into that shit. Uh, well, you can't really blame us in entirety for Net for Shift's trial going when he's been buying subs as well. Like. He does do that. I can take you through Social Blade and show you that. In fact, I might even make a video for you to show you exactly what he's doing. What idiot would make up a sock account called FK and Frodo? No, I'm not speculating, Frodo. All right, several people especially whenever a lot of people went apeshit after that snuff video nonsense came out with him and reported. folks. It's How long have I been on here now? 2 hours. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what way the cheese is cut. Um, but I don't really think it's going to benefit anybody more than the All Stars. I think the All Stars will be the ones that benefit from it all. Um, Freddie and OG and all might feel a bit better because they've got to go on and talk about it to, the All Stars. But at the end of the day, I mean, are they not belittling themselves even more? You know, I personally think that if anything, Freddie should have done it on his channel. That's what I think they should do. If they're going to go ahead and do this whole live stream nonsense, I think they should do it on Freddie's channel because it takes away any type of attention that click for view crap for Titus, etc. Although they still get it, like, but you know, look, here's what people have to understand here, right? You have to be realistic. Um, you know, if Winter Moon's still here, she'll tell you herself, right? With the crime that freaking uh, Gunk would possibly get convicted for, right? The crime that he would possibly get convicted for, the sentence in that crime is pathetic, you know? And if you was to turn around and say, yes, very interesting indeed, Frodo, very interesting. Anyway, the crime himself that we know he's committed, right? Which is sexting a minor. The possible sentence in that is he's not getting 7 years, not in a million. Are you kidding me? 7 years? Your head's up your arse. You think he's getting 7 years? You fucking idiot. Fucking clown. Go clown somewhere else, Freddy. You're just a collector of people. Go collect your information somewhere else. Don't come round here fishing off me. Exactly. Now, if you return round, the evidence against Gunk is, it's there. He's admitted it. He tried to backtrack. He got caught out again. Freddie did a job on him. I'm a liar and a fraud. What am I lying about? What am I fraudulent about? What am I a fraud about, sir? Come on. Come on into the hangout and tell me what I'm a liar and a fraud about, Frodo. I'll drop you a link. You can come in. Right on. There you go, Frodo. Come on in, we'll talk about it. Yes, exactly, Kickstand. And he seems to think that Gunk's going to get 7 years for a few pictures of a girl under the age of 18. I mean, and the law that you're needing, the jurisdiction of this here, is isn't it something to do with the Commonwealth? Link won't work. Of course it won't. Yeah, it won't work. Freddie, you're a spineless cunt. Maybe that'll get you in. You've been found out. You can go sleep with the All Stars. It's even more embarrassing the fact that he's made a soccer account to come in. It could be China then, even. Wouldn't be surprised. Who knows? Who cares? Two subs on it. Pretty new. It's obviously, what is it? 10 accounts you said you had, Freddie? 10 soccer accounts, at least 10 soccer accounts. Anyway, I am finished for the night. It's 20 to 2 in the morning here. Toto, you should be going to bed, girl. Lady, here's the thing, right? Here's what I firmly believe, right? Honestly, and I mean this, I honestly do mean this. Whether or not I don't get on with somebody or don't like what somebody else has done to me or how I've seen them treat somebody else, if somebody else has an opinion of that person that is different to mine, I'm all cool with that. I don't mind. I'm not here to judge other people for who they like and who they don't like. You know, if people don't want to like me but love all of them other people, etc., I'm cool with it. I really don't mind, and I wouldn't get upset. And I think a lot of people here do realize that you know, I, I'm not trying to enforce, some sort of, I'm not telling you that you can only go and watch these channels. I'm not telling you you can only go and think this certain way, etc., etc., etc. Like some of these other people are, and you know, in general, the whole thing, as I said, I'm a new channel as such, right? I didn't have a real intention of doing this, but now that I have, wow, it's a whole different side of YouTube that you see from as a viewer, a very different side, and it's a bit unexpected. So it is. So it was very unexpected. It was great when I must admit when people were giving me a thumbs up and saying good vid, blah blah blah, well done, all, and giving you a bit of encouragement and all the rest of it. It felt very good. It felt good. Um, a bit of a buzz as such, and it was quickly brought down to back to earth again whenever I started getting all the negative stuff thrown at you without really like understanding where it was coming from or seeing how I kind of like deserved it, if you know what I mean. So that was the biggest eye opener for me, and then kind of like getting curtailed in the like a group think, um, which wasn't all bad. Like, wasn't all bad. I can't claim that. I can't claim that it was some big, MCN thing as such. It wasn't. Um, But the direction that I started to go in, it wasn't for me, and I certainly wasn't for them. They did not like the direction that I was going in, which I didn't see much of a problem of. But it is what it is. Yeah, I know. Really, I saw that at the time. So that so I saw the people who kind of here. Hold on a minute. Scoop doesn't deserve this. That's not right. I did see. I do remember, and I'd certainly stick my neck out for those people. No problem. And they could have done that because I was on Discord. You know, the thing is, um, when I went into the stream that day, I was on the Scooby Doo account, which is on a mobile phone, which I don't have Discord or anything on. I had to go and fire up a laptop to use this account, and then the rest of it, the Discord's on my laptop. I don't have access to to Discord 24/7 because it's on my laptop. Because if you're with Discord on your phone or your iPad, you'd be answering it all fucking day. And I was like, I ain't doing that, you know. There's a couple of people I get on with, enjoy talking to, kind of, I've talked to outside of this all nonsense like that has been cool. But you know, there's also a lot of people out there that I just don't want to interact with, wouldn't want to. So I don't put all them apps on the phone. They're on my computer because I can turn it off and put it away. I don't have to think about it. Well, you've got well, we can say, you've got it was claimed that I would go from Titus Frost to Random Ransom to Lift the Field to Unirock, etc. That's the path that I would take whenever I was selling out to appear on the All Stars. Um, videos were made that were wrong, misrepresented the truth, and were downright lies. Freddie knows fine rightly I didn't privacy strike him. He knows who privacy struck him. But I'm very bewildered about Wake Now losing his channel today that's been announced. OG said that there in his last video. I'm bewildered about that because I didn't realise that. I know he'd been using that Wake 2 account, but I didn't realise that he was getting so much baller, you know? Cheers, who cares? Um, we do spend a bit of long time, but I think it's people are on the tubes for various reasons. I live by myself. I'm single. I don't get out every day, etc. Um, so interacting with people ends up being something like this, YouTube. Um, it's pretty cool. It's cool whenever you're talking to cool people. It's a really good positive experience. It's great to learn how other people react and interact and their behaviors and stuff like that there, and how they live and their experiences, and you hear them talking about you know the world's changing a lot now, so it is. Even for someone just growing up in the 70s and 80s, the world is very different now. And just hearing the wee stories and things of people back, like that's what I said at the very beginning when I was trying to do my live streams. That I wanted to try and get people from the freaking chat to come in and talk in the actual hangout part. but everybody's quite nervous about it. Whereas I think most people is good people, like, you know. But well, I think Frodo's left and all, like, but uh, I think Frodo starts up freaking 10 channels every time he makes a comeback. I don't know, but you know, I don't really, I'm not really bothered when anybody thinks of me for what I've been saying this week and what I've done about it this week. Um, because honestly, I feel vindicated by people's reactions this week. Um, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one there. So that's that, folks. Um, it's 10 to 2 in the morning. Toto, go to bed, you nutcase. It's getting late, girl. Need your beauty sleep. Yes, Rebel. Yeah, I uh, I understand what you mean there. That you know, the funny thing is, right? Social media. Do you remember like when Yahoo Chat and all was on the go and all that stuff? Like and the first, people first started doing the whole like internet dating thing, and it was kind of like a bit of a taboo. It was a bit of don't be so crazy, and people who'd never experienced anything like that there before, but or the internet much would have said you're an absolute nutcase. What are you doing? Stay away from these people. I didn't realize it was on private. Sorry, class, didn't realize it. Um, yeah, whenever the internet first kind of wasn't really popular, but people started doing a wee bit of internet dating and all, there was a bit of a ooh crazy. Yes, can you not do? Can you not meet people in the real world? You're not case. And nowadays, it's like it's the norm. It's more normal now to turn around and hook up in Tinder or some other app. It's the war. It's literally turned everything upside down now. It's complete opposite of how it was. It's crazy. Best thing for us is cigarette box, the carton of a cigarette box, really. The cardboard from it. That's what I'd use. No, that's the private thing's been an oversight on my thing. One must not click the private button to put it in private. Mine is I always have to change mine to public. Okay, I spy. Don't make me do another video to people's allegations against me. For crying out loud. I'm joking when I say that, please. The private is a complete oversight. And even at that there, we've still had good numbers here. I didn't even realize it was in private. Whenever I go to stream every time, I always have to change it to public. Always. I don't know why. And it always says I'm sitting in freaking, it always says I'm 4 hours in front of myself. And I always have to change it to UK. No matter how many times I save it. It goes from United Emirates to United Kingdom, and they're 4 hours in front. So it won't let me live stream unless I change it. And then whenever I blink and change, whenever I get everything changed, you hit the save button. But the next time I come back, it's still the same way. So I don't know. Yeah, you would, Rebel. There's nothing beats just, a bit of real interaction with people. It's far easier to do because you can see people, you can read body language, you've got tone of voice, you've got, people's eye contact. Uh, yeah, it's far, far easier interacting in the real world than it is and enjoyable in the real world. But I suppose if you know the screws are turned a bit about you. uh, um, yeah, I suppose there's not much else you can do. Oh shit, there's a sheriff. Oh shit. Oh, sheriff, why didn't you come on a wee bit earlier? Why didn't you come on a wee bit earlier? We could all sit and have a chat. Although it's not like you to chat in a live stream with me. You never did do it. You don't like answering questions. You just like to give out the advice. Well, that's cool. Well, what are you going to do when the amigos leave you behind, Canada? Are they sellouts now? Are you going to strike their channels for privacy? Sheriff. Why would I need to collect Canada? If you've been watching Canada, Frodo, you'll know friend rightly that Canada doesn't make friends with people. He doesn't like doing live streams with people because when he does live streams and makes friends with people, the people that don't like Canada end up attacking the people that he is friendly with and does streams with. You know, people like me. If you pay attention to what Canada says, Frodo, you would know this. Canada is not one to be collected. You were collected by Canada, you idiot. Shouldn't you be prepping for your big interview tomorrow night? I didn't say me and Laz are friends now. Laz come into my channel. What do you want me to do? Be an asshole to him? He's not in here disrupting. He's not in here causing bother. He's actually in here having logical conversation. I'm not going to turn around and be an arsehole with him. Just the way I'm not going to be an arsehole with you, I spy, who use me as bait to try and lure out Agent 19. You've come into my chat. Well, I like your friends too. You can let me know if you would give Honeybee one, Frodo, after you get to meet her in the big lineup tomorrow. You get to meet the girl from was it Gambino crime family? I don't normally get all stars visiting my channel, so I appreciate that, folks. Maybe you could give me a thumbs up. Because we're on 1717 at the minute. Dun dun dun. So, okay. Well, it's good to see you still got a sense of humor, Frodo. Don't be trying to collect any of my people, though. You can collect who you want, boy, because I don't have any people. 2260, folks. There you go. Somebody's turned their dislike into a like. If you wouldn't delete your live streams, you get everybody could watch that for themselves. Woof woof. Anyway, folks, that's me for the evening. Thank you very much. It's 2 a.m. I'm going to end the live stream. And good evening and good night. I hope you all pull up for a ringside seat tomorrow evening, and as the All Stars meet the amigos. There is no warm up fight. There'll be no warm up interviews. I'm sure it's going to be spectacle that we will all enjoy. My money's on the All Stars. To be honest with you, they're more accomplished. They've got the moves. They've got Honeybee. And she looks like she knows how to pull a few. Hello, Wake now. I may take care of Honeybee right enough. Maybe OG and Wake now, they'll gang up in Honeybee. Her being a woman and all. Okay, folks. Good night. Thank you very much. It's been an enjoyable, relaxing evening. Even you, Fairly. Scooby out.